to me. As if you cared, she flung back. Quiet! Marcus silenced them both. That no longer matters. David, my carriage will be waiting in the mews. Get out of the house any way you can without being seen, and go directly there. Here. He handed David his waistcoat and jacket. Why? David asked, pulling on the jacket. Marcus smiled grimly. Barlow may be close at my heels, and will raise an uproar if he finds you, or believes he finds you. Oh. David stuffed his discarded cravat into a pocket and got to his feet. Right then, in the mews. Marcus jerked his head in a nod, already turning toward the mirror. The door opened and closed softly as David left, and Lady Barlow said, Well. Marcus ran his hands through his hair, ruffling it a bit. What the devil am I supposed to do? She exclaimed when he ignored her. I don't suppose you've some secret plan to allow me to sneak out. You, madam, are coming with me. Jocelyn Barlow pouted and crossed her arms under her bosom. I haven't agreed to any of this. He barely glanced at her. I don't recall soliciting your agreement, but considering your husband's temper, it would be in your best interest to persuade him you've been with me instead of my brother. I hardly was with your brother, she muttered. I don't care whether you found it satisfying or not, he said in a dangerously quiet voice. I don't care about you. She snorted, and Marcus faced her. For a moment, he was tempted to leave her here like this, still dishevelled and unbuttoned. She was an unfaithful wife, apparently an untruthful lover, and Marcus truly didn't care about her. But if he didn't, she would owe him nothing. Her husband was in a fury, had publicly declared his intentions, and Marcus didn't think she would raise a finger to calm him. She'd likely enjoy the notoriety of being the cause of a duel. Marcus hadn't raced across town and barged in on them just to have Barlow call David out before breakfast tomorrow. Turn around, he ordered. She opened her mouth, looked at his expression, and turned around without a word. We will stroll downstairs and rejoin the guests, he said, as he did up her gown properly. Thank God she was one of those daring women who didn't wear a corset. We have been admiring the artwork in the salon, and David left hours ago. I don't think we need to mention anything that happened in this room. He turned her around and ran a critical eye over her. Your hair is falling down. She flushed and turned to the mirror to fix it. Marcus waited at the door, controlling his impatience. They needed to be seen together for a few minutes before Barlow arrived. Lady Barlow finally finished her toilette and took the arm he offered, and they left the room. May I ask why you're doing this? No. She was quiet for a moment as they walked down the hall. Do you know, when you first appeared like that, it was quite startling, but also, I must say, rather exciting to see you standing there, watching me. She cast him a coy look from under her lashes. Marcus, who was not easily shocked, could hardly believe his ears. He stopped, waiting until she looked at him. You are sadly mistaken if you think the sight of you riding my brother like a common strumpet was remotely exciting to me, he said. I suggest you purge the thought from your head. She pouted again, and said nothing more as they reached the stairs and went down to the ballroom. Normally Marcus spoke only to people he knew and respected, but tonight he purposely slowed his gait and rolled his shoulders a little. When someone hailed him, either by his name or by David's, he nodded in greeting. A few people gave him odd looks, but he ignored them. There was only one person he truly needed to confuse, and Barlow had been drinking. You, sir! A stocky gentleman and his companions ploughed to a halt behind them. I demand satisfaction. With one last speaking glance at Lady Barlow, Marcus turned. The rest of the room was already facing his accuser, breathless with anticipation. Either rumour moved even faster than Marcus's horses, or the fool had been telling everyone here of his intentions. Satisfaction, Barlow? For what, may I ask? At the sound of his voice, Barlow's eyes widened, and he gulped.